Alright, so once you've signed up for Mint and you've added your accounts, I added basically my expense report account over here. You're going to come to the page that looks like this, and it's going to go back and it's going to assess your stuff to date, and it's going to kind of lump stuff into categories. I have no idea where it comes up with these budgeted amounts, but it's probably not correct. So I know it's not correct. So the spreadsheet that you worked on the last post, you basically need to pull that spreadsheet out because these are the numbers we're going to put in there. So what you want to do is you want to go see all budgets right here. And the other place you can do is also on the planning tab. And it'll take you to here. And it'll basically say, welcome to Mint's planning tool. This is the problem with Mint right here. The very first sentence is it says, plan for regular and irregular expenses. It says budget on a monthly, quarterly, semi-annual, or even one-time expense basis. But you'll notice it doesn't do anything about cash flow. It's just normal time periods. So what you want to do is it created all these budgets down here. We just need to delete them. So go through and delete all these budgets, and I'll save the last one just to show you kind of what they do inside these budgets here. Because you can't take their normal budgeted line items because it just doesn't work given the new structure with the ones and the twos for the first and second half of the month. So in this last one I'll just show you really fast. When you go in here, it's going to say choose a category. It asks a category. These are pre-populated. How often do you do it? And then the amount. And you can make the budget roll over if you don't use it all. I just like to keep it simple, and if I have extra at the end of the pay period, great, put it in a bank account somewhere. So I'm going to hit delete this account. So now we're down to 0. So it says create a budget. So when you hit create a budget, you're going to say choose a category. Now, if you pull down this big gigantic list of categories, you're going to see that these are the same things that you're going to label whenever you go in to catalog your expenses. So let's start with income, right? So, I guess these are just expenses. All right, so let's start with groceries or dining out, right? So there's food, so there's groceries, but you'll note, what we're going to want to do is add a category, and right here you hit add a new category, and what you're going to do is put 1 groceries and hit save it, because if you hit OK at the bottom it just fails out of it, which I had to learn the hard way. And then you're going to want to put 2 groceries and hit save it. And then you're going to want to put, we're under food and dining, so the way I have the budget set up is dining out, save it, and you're going to do one for the second period, dining out, and hit save it. And then you're going to hit OK. So now you have these new categories. So now when you pull these down under food and dining, let's set up a budget for dining out 1. So this is the first half of the month. How often you're gonna happen? You can just leave it as every month, because as far as they know, that's fine. Let's say $50, and you hit save. Now what happens is now you have this budget for dining out. And so basically you go through and you create those new categories for everything. You create a 1 and a 2 for everything on your spreadsheet. So for every column on your spreadsheet, you create either a 1 if it's in the first half of the month, plus the name you have it on the spreadsheet, or a 2 in the name you have it on the spreadsheet. So I'll give you one more example here. So the other example is uncategorized. This is the place where I keep the cash expenses for myself and Julie. And so if I hit add a new account, I would hit 1 Matt cash and 2 Matt cash. And so there's my cash, and I could also add Julie, for example. And hit save it, and hit OK. And basically then I would set up under uncategorized, you would set up each of these, and I think on the spreadsheet I had 500. And hit save, right? So now there's a new budget for uncategorized. So we're back in Mint, and I basically have gone in and filled out the rest of the categories, and all those categories, just to reiterate, are based on the spreadsheet. So if they have a 0 next to them, it means that they're going to happen every period. If they have a 1 next to them, it means they happen in the first period, which is the columns that they're in. And so if it has a 2, it means they're happening in the second period. And these are all going to change based on your own personal spreadsheet, but you get the ideas is that you basically want to make, okay, there's a Jan 1 and a Jan 2, so you want to make sure that everything in each of those columns is represented in your Mint budget. And so that's what basically I've done, is gone through and created those things here. Now, I would love it if it's sorted by the subcategory, but it doesn't sort by the subcategory. It sorts by category, status, and high to low. And so this is why it's a hack and not a perfect thing. But this is where, when you have this all set up, this is when your budget's done. And so the next step will be, we'll go in and catalog actual transactions that you spend, and they'll start to show up in here, and you'll see how they turn from green to red to yellow, and also how those things interact with the mobile, the iPhone app, and allow you to get alerts on that you're getting close to spending your full amount on a budget, which is really where it gets powerful for me, because it shows me on a real-time basis where I'm at. So next week you will see a post where, once you have your budget set up, then we'll start to go in and catalog your expenses based on this exact same structure that we've set up already. That's it for this week. If you have questions, please, as usual, email me, contact me, whatever you need to do, and we can chat. And again, if you want to copy the original spreadsheet, let me know. A couple people have reached out, and I've sent that out to them. Otherwise, I will see you next week.